Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Kim and JB. Welcome everybody to the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call. I'm Josh Taylor, in tonight for Rich Walsh. He is currently leaving State College on his way to Cleveland, leaving from Penn State, headed to the Steelers and the Browns. And as far as tonight goes, let's just stay right there. We'll talk Penn State. We'll talk Steelers, Browns. We'll start with Penn State. And Penn State pulls out the win, 33-14 is your final score. This was a game that, when you looked at all of it going into it, and Paul's eyes talked, and I talked about it last night, and Paul had strongly reinforced this, and I agreed with it, that the two roles of these two teams were flipped from what they were last year. Pitt was the more experienced team, had more experienced guys on offense and on defensive side, had a lot more veteran leaders to lean on, especially at the quarterback position, especially at the running back position. And this time around, Pitt is the lesser experienced team, and Penn State was the more experienced team, having a guy like Saquon Barkley. Trace McSorley's his second year as a starter. Mike Gesicki, the senior tight end, in his second or third year as a starter. So you had more experience on the Penn State side of the ball this time around, plus Penn State being the home team. This was a game that I pretty much expected the outcome that it would be. I expected that Penn State would use Saquon Barkley as a decoy, much like they did in the first half last week against Akron, and then they would use him in the second half a little bit more often once Pitt's defense relaxed a bit, the same way Penn State did last week against Akron. But when you have those kind of weapons that Penn State has, like a Mike Gesicki, like a Deshaun Hamilton, like the different receiving options that Trace McSorley has to go to, plus Trace McSorley being a run threat himself with the option, you knew Penn State might have some extra wrinkles that Pitt might not be able to account for. But to Pitt's credit, I thought they would give a very strong first half, if for no other reason than pride alone, intensity alone, competitiveness alone. Because one thing we've learned is that when it comes to big games, when it comes to big opponents, Pat Narduzzi will at least install that kind of spirit of competitiveness and really have his guys to go in believing that they are prepared to play and that they're prepared to win. I thought the defense played well enough after the first quarter. In the second quarter, they were a lot stronger, and they actually had a pretty good second quarter as opposed to the first quarter. The difference was in the first half, the offense wasn't able to turn drives into points. They had a drive, I think it was 8 minutes long, and couldn't get a touchdown out of it. When you couldn't finish off drives the way you want to, that's what makes the difference in games like that. But I do believe, from Penn State's perspective, I thought Penn State playing a different team that maybe has a stronger offense, maybe that's a different result. Maybe that's a different result if you have a team that may be able to pass a little bit more reliably when they needed to. I thought Max Brown had some issues early on. Overthrew a couple guys. The first interception to Grant Haley was one that was overthrown. The one to Troy Apke was another one that was pretty well overthrown. So I think there were some accuracy issues there in the first half. I think with an offense that doesn't make as many mistakes, maybe it's a tighter game. But all the same, Penn State gets the win in this series, and they actually avoid losing 3 in a row to Pitt for the first time since, I think, the 1940s. So this was a huge win for Penn State. Now, James Franklin's comments after the game. Now, we're going to play those for you coming up at 11 o'clock during the news. But I'll boil it down for you and paraphrase it. James Franklin pretty much said, look, you know, when Pitt beat Penn State last year, Pitt saw it as their Super Bowl. But according to James Franklin, when Penn State beat Pitt today, it was pretty much like beating Akron last week. And those aren't my words. Those are James Franklin's words. So we're seeing some, you know, a little bit of extra, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit extra edge, if you will, to how these two teams interact. I thought that was interesting. That'll fuel the flames going into next season, considering the fact they got to go right back to Heinz Field and do this all over again. But all the same, I thought it was a much more competitive game than maybe a lot of people expected, especially on the Penn State side. But all the same, I expected Penn State to win this game, and Pitt covered, I think it was at kickoff, it was a 20-point spread, so Pitt covered that by a point, but hey, they covered it, so that means a lot to some people. But all the same, that was the outcome that we saw. Tomorrow, Steelers and Browns kicking off the season at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. We're going to see this offense back together again, and that's significant for me at least. With Ben Roethlisberger, Martavis Bryant, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, especially in a place, in a city, and in a stadium where Ben Roethlisberger tends to play very, very well. He's one of the winningest quarterbacks playing in Cleveland, especially in that stadium. So when you have a quarterback who plays well in that place on the road, and now he's got his full complement of weapons around him, he's got his offensive line healthy, you have all that in front of you, it makes a lot of sense. We'll take a break. We come back. We'll talk about Stephon Tuitt, his contract extension, and what that means for the defense as well. We'll take your phone calls, 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. We'll do it all when we come back. Stick around.